Welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host Jimmy D, and we're back again for another video of the Union Arena gameplay. All this in practice and preparation for the upcoming Nationals. I will have some upcoming videos. Stay tuned for some proxies out there and some of the gameplay that I'll be ripping apart from our live streams that come up every Saturday at around 3 to 4. Depends on when we can get people to actually get together and get the rounds going. But usually we get started sometime around 3 and 4 o'clock. And we go live and we cover this stuff. And that's mostly just due to the lack of time. But I think you guys already know about that. So I digress. Let's get into today's video. We have a great banger here. This is going to be Todo Annihilation again, another deck that I've been practicing and qualified with during the Nationals down in Dallas, Texas. A deck that I'm still strongly considering, especially with the new decks coming out. And we'll see how well it does. I'm also thinking about 3 other decks right now. If you guys want to know, Rengoku Red is playing super strong with its removal and just constant answers and the high-paced, fast red rush that you already seen from the Rurouni Kenshin that's been dominating in a lot of these leagues already. And then you have the other decks that you're expecting to see from the Evangelion and whatnot that are going to be coming out that actually don't... They're really good decks, don't get me wrong, but they could fall victim to the Red Rush Kenshin if they're not prepared to learn how to play against it. It's one of those decks where I truly believe that this is a deck that if you master how to play against it, get that second or third tier of gameplay that I was talking about in the last video, if you do that and you learn how to play this deck, it is actually quite beatable. It's one of those strategies I'll go into when we do a coverage for that, because I do have a video of that coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. Right now, we have an awesome video here with myself practicing against the new yellow Kaiju number 8 Miwa deck. Now, I say it's new. Relatively everything in this set seems new. It's only a year-old game, and every single month we're getting a new set and new IP being introduced with roughly 6 to 8 new decks that could potentially see some play, and unfortunately don't see enough play, in my personal opinion. Because a lot of these decks have unlost potential. There's a lot of things I think in green Kaiju number 8 that deserve a lot of attention, but didn't because the rush factor and people not understanding how to beat the Kenshin deck, along with the consistency of the purple, it really kind of just deterred people away from trying these new decks. And I'm hoping you guys are going to enjoy this. Again, this will be something that's just going to be music in the background because all I have time for these recordings. I go over the deck list right here. You guys can skip that and go straight into it. Just relax, have fun, but don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and comment on where areas you think we could have done better, because I on top of me watching these videos and being able to see them as I get the full sound in the background, I like to rewatch a lot of these videos and see how good they are and what I did, what mistakes I might have made, or some things that other people could have made, and I don't want to make that mistake in my gameplay. It's a great analysis. It's like the football players or any other sports fans that watch their opponent's teams and watch what they do and how they perform. They figure out what the weaknesses are, and you could do that here at Humble Pie and check it out. And of course, if you want some further in-depth on how to play certain games and that greater level, join my Patreon. You can join for free for a lot of free content. Some of it's paid, some of it's not. A lot of the great deck lists you can find are going to be on my Experts dev account for Union Arena. But if you want deck lists from One Piece, want stuff from Gundam, want stuff from the other stuff, that's going to be located either on Experts or on my Patreon account that you can find directly below. I digress. Let's get in the deck list for this video. I'm super excited to bring you again my Todo deck versus the yellow Miwa. Mina. Alright, so this is my account, the Humble Pie on experts.dev. This is how I look at my stats, try to see my curves right. I really enjoy the features that come with experts.dev, not sponsored. I am a creator on here, but I'm not a paid creator. I'm not like sponsored by these individuals. Maybe I'll work into that at some point and get some extra attention when my channel starts growing. But I really enjoy this tool. It allows you to look at different stats here for my energy, my first hand with no mulligan being 87%, with mulligan 98. Pretty strong to make sure that I have ensuring that I don't have any dead draws and I don't have any of those automatic game losses. This being a best of 1 in most competitions, having a mulligan or getting the chance that you have a 0 cost or can't play the game at all is high enough that it can cost you your entire tournament career by losing there. So getting down to the turn 2 energy cost, 58%, a little bit lower. These are usually want to be a little bit higher, and I think they do get higher with some of the cards I've been printing out here soon that are going to be 2 cost energy generators that can be 0. And I think the math is going to get thrown off with these because I don't think that the algorithm understands the difference in costs that can exist with these new cards they're printing in Evangelion and what they printed out in Kenshin decks. But very good for stats, allows you to see your curve, allows you to make sure that you have enough for the energy, you have enough for the triggers. Of course, you want to make sure that you're playing with 4 color, 4 final, and that's actually debatable. A lot of cards that are rush decks probably play less final triggers. I still recommend 1 based on certain decks that you really want to have that chance to try and survive in the late game by getting this from life. It needs to be the last one, but trust me, I've won at least 4 games with this final trigger on being the last life, and sometimes that can make or break the entire game for you. Special trigger, of course, you're going to play 4 of these with whatever. These are the absolute must includes, the colors and the specials. 100% need to have these in your deck. And if you look at my triggers, I got 46 out of 50 cards are triggered. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm optimizing my life triggers to ensure that I'm actually hitting appropriately. Most decks can really afford to only go around 40 to 42 right now and stay consistent. Anything less than that, you're going to risk the fact that your life is not going to support you. You're going to have a lot of tempo swings going against you, and your opponent's going to get the tempo swings in their favor, which ends up really putting you out of the game no matter how good your deck might be. This is always going to be a resolving issue, given that this is how the game is played. These triggers are absolutely important and will make or break a lot of your different games. Going to the makeup, we got our 0 cost. Of course, I got that basic 12. We're seeing here that it's going to change here when we get more access to those 2 costs that can be 0 if there's nothing on the field. Of course, sticking to my raid targets right here. And unfortunately, purple does not have a draw discard. I was looking deep for it, I want it, so I'm just playing with something with a trigger. That's really the only reason he's here. But I do have a way to start digging through my deck on that 1 cost. This one with a trigger, which I really appreciate. But this one allows me to find basically any card in my deck that I might need, and then sideline a card. So I get to look at the top 3 cards, and then put one in my hand and put the card in the sideline, which will instantaneously feed the purple color trigger, which those that don't know, the color trigger in here for all purple is being able to play a character from your sideline, a 2 cost or less and 1 AP cost, for free to your sideline, active to your front line, which honestly can be extremely good in the late game when you're trying to get those raid targets, trying to get those answers back that might have been removed in the earlier stages. And you want to make sure that you want to get a card in that sideline as soon as possible, because if your first hit isn't this AP or this color trigger, you're not going to get any benefit from it. So you really want to, when you're playing purple, focus on making sure that you have at least 1 targetable card in your sideline to ensure that you get this ability right here. Of course, we have the Ultimate Mekimaru. This one is the only one without triggers in my deck. It is a must include. These 2 costs unfortunately come without trigger, but they generate additional energy when it's restood. This is a raid target, and this is a card that generates double AP, and a card that requires a high 6 energy generation in order to get this card rated, which means I'm going to be leaning the back row to have at least 2 cards with double pip or double energy, and 2 single pips in order to play this consistently and make sure that I can get this out on the field. A very strong card, of course, comes with impact as long as I have a Miwa or 5 or other Jujutsu highs, and when it plays, it kills at 3,500 or less. What's nice, it combos pretty well with this 3 cost, the color trigger, which does reduce by 1,000, so basically 4,500 or less if I combo this well. And it's just a really great additional removal. So of course I have the 4 specials. Now I have another addition with removal when it comes to the Ultimate Mekimaru. Additionally, I have the double damage, which is when it was first introduced, it was the game changer for a lot of people. Having this ability to do 2 damage on a single swing means that the more likely people will block with it, which means it is an additional piece of removal more often than not, because the impact, you just don't, in the early stages, you just don't block. It's like, it's got impact. Okay, I won't block. Who cares? I'm going to take the damage regardless. I'm not going to lose a card for it, unless I have nullify impact, of course. And it's just, I like a card that forces someone to want to block. On top of that, it has one of the most busted abilities in the game and has not been duplicated in any other set. Unique to Todo and his ability, he gets to swap a character from the front row and the back row, which is absolutely insane. You get to manipulate your own opponent and take and abuse the weaknesses that that deck might have, where they're relying on seeing those double pips from certain cards, and now you're taking it away from them, moving to the front line. And sure, hey, they'll probably block with it because they can't move it back, but you got rid of that energy generation, and now it's more likely your opponent's not going to be able to play the cards and on curve, and they're going to have to spend their turn trying to rebuild the energy line, which is a huge tempo swing in your favor. That's why I love this deck. Of course, you have one of the newer cards from the Volume 2. This one is a really great double generator. You can play it to the front line, immediately swap with something in the back line. It allows you to ensure your energy is at 6, and you get a free attacker up to the front that might be like the old man or something. Just get him out of the way, right? When we're pushing the front line, I don't need his single pip anymore. I can use him as an attack target or some kind of chump for one of my opponent's attacks, just to make sure I can get some extra damage in, or just to protect myself from their swings the next turn. So, and it gives me a nice little raid target in the back row if I happen to hit the raids from life. We got Goodwill, again, one of my favorite cards from here. Unfortunately, not enough in the deck because you have to have things in the sideline. You really want to play this late game. And it's not too great with multiples in a deck where you really want to be playing out characters. So it's always been a problem in Union Arena with playing with events. You don't want to play too many of them because sometimes it takes away from your ability to put board presence out. And this one, while it does put out something, you really want this thing to be like a late game re-raid, something that gets back some of your removed raid targets. Like get a Mickey Morrow back in play, or get a Todo back from your grave and put that back out for this 3-cost Goodwill event. Super strong, very good card. Unfortunately, these decks are very tight. You're seeing a lot of 4-ofs because I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. I would love to see a 2-cost that could be a 0 in Scries. I'd love to see that. I hope to see it maybe in Volume 3 if we get it. But that is where this deck really kind of struggles, honestly, and that point only, because it is a very low to the ground deck with a high being 6 and very easy to do with a lot of good enabling cards that give it the double pip access. Of course, you have the final triggers at 4. This is mainly for purple because it does need those turns to go extended just a little bit longer when you really want to explode. And one of the things I like to do with this deck, I like to explode after my opponent does. I wait for them to dump their hand and put out some of the biggest threats, and then I go off and try to explode to try and mitigate or basically take tempo back in my favor. And having a domain expansion like this or a final trigger to extend my turn, get some more cards out there, very effective. And not to mention, just great to have in life just in case I might be losing the game. And Boogie Woogie, arguably one of the best specials in the game here, has a when played, of course, if you have Todo out, you get to draw a card. But the important part here is a 5,000 less for just simple as 3. With no other requirement, just take a 5,000 less, put it at the bottom of your opponent's deck. If it's a rated card, the raid goes to the bottom card goes to the sideline. And then you give your opponent this option. Hey, you can play this 3-cost or less if you want. You can play this 3-cost or less to the front line, and it's on plays, and it's rested, and its on plays are turned off. Yeah, don't do that. While a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm just giving them a free card. You're putting them to put a card for free in the front row, which is usually at the 3-cost or less range, your energy generators. Those aren't your heavy hitters. Those aren't your attack targets. Those aren't the cards that you're looking to see some massive gains from, right? You don't, outside of like maybe the Toguro brothers or some random decks out there, there's not a lot of great targets for 3-cost or less that you want to put in your front line, especially knowing that the on-play is going to be turned off. So if you're playing it like the Miwa, this on-play for draw and discard is not going to happen. I'm going to lose a double pip and the draw discard ability just because I want to put this card up front, and I can't do anything afterwards unless I have maybe a Todo and a swap with it. But then I'm really not getting the best benefit of what this Todo wants to do. You want to deploy this to the front line, bring up an attacking target, not really the opposite way around to try to fix your energy after being Todoed, or the Boogie Woogie. This one's going to be going up the Hidden Tiger, Fire Dragon. This is my version of the Mina deck. I really love this deck. I'm not playing it this one. I'm giving this one to Uchiha to pilot for me. This is one of his favorites. When Kaiju number 8 came out, we really thought that this was going to be a strong deck. Unfortunately, not fast enough to really compete regularly and against the Kenshin, but has a lot of potential. It does require on having your Baku or White Tiger and a similar line for a lot of these abilities, which is kind of important. You want to make sure that you, of course, have the color trigger and you have some kind of answers with these, the Tiger being the same line to make sure that you can activate these Mina abilities, especially with the raid one. And you're trying to make sure you get there. One of the nice things that this deck really introduced, though, was a little more consistency. You got the draw discard that I'm jealous I don't have access to. You have this 1 cost that allows you to look for those answers. You have another 1 cost that allows you to draw and discard a card. You got a lot of ways to like turbo through the deck, and you have events, especially in green, allow you to draw some cards, or you can play cards for free. You've got this site that generates, and you can basically look for a card to get more consistent, and on top of that, you can play a card for free by sacrificing it. Super strong. And you've got other cards that allow you to do some more removal, so it kind of moves that chain up, that for the 8 or more specials you really want, or 8 or more removals you're going to want in most of your decks. This one playing low on the final triggers, mostly because it's trying to find room for these other events. Where I've talked before, you don't want to play too many of these because you end up not being able to build board presence, which is arguably one of the best things you need to be doing in Union Arena, is making sure that you have characters out there that are affecting the board state and keeping the tempo in your favor. Of course, Mina will go over the major hits of this one. This character can be set to active, but that's why, because double AP. So you get an immediate double pip, set to active card immediately. When played, if on an energy line, this card gains, this character can attack from the energy line. Super strong, getting a 5th attack if you got the right field. Attack, activate main once per turn. Choose one character on your opponent's front line, gains minus 1000 BP until end turn. And when attacking, if Baku, like I was saying, the Tiger, is on the same line as this character, draw one card. So he enables with the Baku on the same line. You can attack from the energy line for additional hit. Allows you to keep the double pip energy, just in case you might want to hit the Mina raid, which is absolutely disgusting. If Baku is in the same line, this character gains impact. When played, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting. Not necessarily removal, but nice to get an additional attack in, especially when you can attack from the back row. And activate main if on the front line once per turn. Choose one resting character on your opponent's front line. It gains this character remains resting until the next turn. So this one's a nice little freezing card. Yellow's always been known for freezing. Very, very good. So a lot of times people don't want to replace that card. It's best to basically take a raid card and put it to resting and keep it frozen, because most people won't get rid of it. They'll want to keep it for value for the next turn, and it'll guarantee that you're not going to either, one, can take a swing from that card, and two, you can get an extra swing in against them for an additional strike, where you kind of going wider than that 4 character limit allows you to. And getting some extra draw cards and a ability here with the Shahoshi with another 4K body, something to really just gain some more draw engine, which is what a lot of Kaiju number 8 is really known for. A lot of good draw engines, a lot of ability to turbo through regardless of color identity, because blue is known for drawing, but this one being yellow. So I really enjoyed it. The green has a great draw, 3 or draw 4, just super strong cards, allow you to make sure you're hitting the right cards. I'd say the only thing that this thing really lacks in is speed. It doesn't have a way to really turbo things out. It has great answers to a lot of the things in the deck, even has some being able to move cards, so it kind of counters the Todo deck pretty well with the fact it does have abilities with its on play to switch and move things on their own. So counteracting that Todo play, if played correctly, can be very, very strong and allow you to make sure that you always have a Baku in the right line. Strong characters, strong play, very consistent, great deck. I just wish it'd see more play in some of these national plays. Let's see this deck play me as you guys listen to some nice music. Enjoy the video. Comment down below what you think I should have done better, or what you should have done better. And I hope to see you in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy this content. As we grow, maybe I'll start doing some commentary directly over it. Stay tuned for that. But for now, as always, stay home, bro.
Allow me to show you something.
Select, I'll bring that back. Get your hands up.
Let's go.
Go a little something like this. Hit him with the remix, yo. Switch.
This is the end of side one of this record. Please now turn it over for the second side.
I've got a different idea.
Get down. Yo.
Stop hitting me.
What do you know about all the filth that's going on here, huh?
do it for this round. If you've been here this long, hit the like and subscribe button. Help us out. We're a growing channel and just trying to get out as many TCGs and coverage for you guys at home. Brought to you mostly by the people you're seeing scroll over here, my Patreons. The ones that help me fund and do everything I can to try to expand this channel to cover multitudes of different TCGs that you are seeing here. You like the one you're watching now? That's great. We also have other things that you might like, from a broad spectrum of the Bondi to the new League of Legends, Riftbound games, and other independents like Alpha Clash. We like to cover as many games here, and I love all these TCGs. Most of the time I take part in. If you guys are liking this content, though, please help us grow, help us get into the point where we can improve our quality of content for you, and get to the point where you guys really get the product that you deserve. Thank you for being here, as always. This is going to be it for today. I hope to see you in the next video. That might be listed up here. I don't know, editor, can you help me out?